Hello and welcome to Writer Rant, author advice in 5 minutes or less because I have to get back to writing and so do you. So this week I'm going to do a topic about an old adage that essentially says write what you know. So the idea is that the things that you write are going to intrinsically come from your own experiences, your own life, things that you've encountered along the way. And so writing what you know actually makes the writing process a little easier. Now, I'm not saying, hey, go out and write your memoir, even though I've done that myself. That was actually pretty easy to write, to be honest. That was probably one of my faster novels during NaNoWriMo a couple years ago. But what I'm saying is, if you've been to a foreign city, or if you've done an activity like, I don't know, scuba diving or mountain climbing or whatever, use those in your writing. Because you've experienced it. You kind of have, I want to say, an innate feel of essentially what that experience is like. And so when you're writing, pull from your experiences. Like, if you've had heartbreak, heartbreak is obviously the big one that most stories are around anyways. But yeah, any other life experiences, like, you might have had, I hate to say they're all tragedies, but like if your kid died, or those things where it's like, oh man, those are really tough, and most people aren't going to actually know how that feels, and so it's up to you, kind of as a writer, to be able to bring out those emotions, to be able to bring out kind of that experience, right? What you know, and bring that to the written word, so that the people who read it can then kind of be able to experience what you've experienced through your writing. At the very least, if you're stuck in your writing, go back and just say, hey, I remember a really good vacation that I went on to Rome, or, oh man, that time that, I got stood up for a date. Take those situations and use them as writing prompts to essentially flesh out not only the characters, but just the feelings, the emotions, because, especially locations, right? If you've been somewhere, like, there are smells, there are sounds, there are all sorts of kind of different senses that, besides just the visual, like, scene setting that you can usually do with with writing, there's a ton of other senses that kind of help round out the experience for the reader. So in that way, they kind of get a better sense of, oh, hey, this is this place. It kind of adds some physicality to it. You don't want to overdo it, per se, because you still have to get through with a plot and a story, but at the very least, it adds kind of some realism to your writing, so that way you're not like, oh, yeah, this person's writing about going to New Delhi and they've never been there, and so they're just kind of like, oh, wait, well, why are these people just walking around, not reacting to the heat, or, something like that, where essentially there's this missing element that if you haven't been there, you wouldn't know to include in your writing. So obviously you want to write what you know, but you can also write what you don't know, and I think we'll get to that in next week's episode. So, what about you? Are there experiences that you've had in your writing that you've kind of influenced into what you write? Let us know down below, and if there's anything about my advice that you find wrong, by all means, let me know in the comments below. And if there's any other gripes about writers or reviewers or readers that you want to get off your chest, the comment section below is there for you, and maybe we'll turn it into an episode in the future. And so thanks for watching this episode of Writer Rant. I'm Benjamin M. Weilert.